The Horrible Gamers podcast may contain content not suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, everybody, to the Horrible Gamers podcast, episode number 358. I'm your host, Ryan, gamertag Gib8777. And with me today, I have, from the West Coast to Best Coast, Gunny Chief. What's going on, Gunny Chief?
Hey, what's happening? How the hell are you guys?
And from the state of Ohio, where the corn grows tall, the Mayo. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, Gibbs? Glad to have you back on for an episode.
Yeah, it feels weird to host. It feels real weird. It's been a long time, and I really miss it. But, you know, this is cool. I'm so glad to come back and talk to you guys. Jesus just disappears. He's like fucking Pokeroo. Or something when I come on the podcast. He just disappears. Is something up with Jesus? He don't like me no more?
No. What happens is he just disappears, and then you'll throw up an OG episode like you did last week, called the Four Loko Show. So it's like you've been here the last two episodes, it seems.
Yeah. It's weird, and I listened to that episode back again, and it was pretty fun, but it was rough in the end. Now, you got to listen to that episode. If you haven't, go back and listen to it. I pretty much pass out halfway through the episode and come back randomly a couple of times. And the whole show is really funny if you got 4 hours to listen to.
So what I recommend for our audience, our listeners, I think we could probably link that YouTube video because it just kind of adds to it. Like, the audio is great, but everything just seeing Normie disappear and then watch you disappear. It's like, where did they go? Did they pass out? Like, did they fall down? What happened?
I don't believe that that's on YouTube. I think it is on our Horrible Gamers podcast, not the group, the actual page, because that's what we used to stream to. So all those videos are there. If you ever want to go back to like some of the stuff we used to live stream back in the day, I think all that stuff is there. So you can go check that out. Look for the page instead of the group. The group is a closed thing, so it's more like just, the community talking to each other privately, whereas the page is public. So anything that's posted on there is public to anybody. That's just the way it's always been set up. Most of the stuff that goes up there is just random, like Podbean saying, hey, the episode's been uploaded and stuff like that. I don't think anyone really posts much there. But we used to do the live streams through that page, and that's where you can find them, because I don't believe they're in the community group because they were from too long ago and they've been like removed from the videos or whatever. But that's where you can find those if you want to look for them. And then look for the Four Loko one that was on last week, and you'll have a laugh. It was pretty funny. And it's always good to have Normie come on the show. She's always fun to have around.
Yeah, she is. And here our buddy, Vengeful Jedi, Clint Thiel.
Yeah, Clint too. Yeah, man.
Good times.
So yeah, what are we doing now, Gunny?
Patreons. We have those. I think we have a Patreon list. Mail, do we have a Patreon list? Do you have that up? Do you want me to read that off?
We do have a Patreon list. All right, we got a Patreon list. Good old Jason Sams. We have John Jerome, Evan the Grower, Not a Shower, D. Tanaka. We have Adam Sunday, the best HGP host ever. I don't know who that would be. I think it's probably Gibbs. Now, we got Nipron. Yep. We got Pork Chop Poo, Henley M, Native Lives Matter, Vaderholic, Chad, Sean Petriak, Robert Noble, Leahy the Legendary D, Jonathan the Titan D Hall, and we can never leave out Bill, even the biggest D Gardner II.
He's got the longest schlong ever, man.
Bill, even the biggest D Gardner II. Until the third comes along, right?
We need a third one.
I wonder.
Who is it?
No, I don't wonder.
You think about it all the time. I know it.
Alrighty. So, Hey, who does our music?
We have that, right?
We can change it up a little bit, but we've been using... I got to pull up the name here real quick. We've been using... I lost my music page.
Oh, no.
Disc Chippo.
Ah.
So thank you guys for your music. And, we use some a variety of stuff there at the end there sometimes. So we'll probably use normal stuff this week.
Yeah, we can go with that. Sure. Thank you guys for your music. Ricky and Nickbot. And
if you want to get a shirt or a clock or a block or a rock or a sock, where can you go and get some HGP gear, Gunny?
It's red, and it's a bubble. So go to redbubble.com.
One of them red bubbles. One of them red bubbles, and search for Horrible Gamers Podcast, right?
That's
correct.
The right
search term? Yeah.
And you will find shower curtains in there and water bottles for the summertime.
Man, there's stuff in there. There's stuff in there. You need to go take a look. Head on over to redbubble.com and search for Horrible Gamers Podcast.
Yeah, make sure you sign up for their newsletter. You can get some 10 to 15% off of all things in stock over there before you check out. So you don't have to pay full price. We keep our stuff cheap.
Maybe we should talk about some video games. I know we don't usually, I know you guys don't usually go straight into video games. I
just say we don't have the Jesus information talk right
Jesus
now.
Isn't here, to bless us with his conspiracies and knowledge. So I don't know. Does anybody have a crazy conspiracy they wanted to talk about that could fill this space? Or are we going to do a shorter podcast?
Maybe before we talk about the corn shortage in Ohio, we could talk about going over to our Twitter. We have @HorribleGamers. That is the @_HorribleGamers. We have a Twitter thing over there. And it will leave us a review. And leave us a review on the iTunes. I think now you can give 5, 6 stars or something. I don't know. I think we can respond to it.
All the stars.
And we can respond back to you. We can say, fuck you, this is a good show. We don't suck. So leave us a review over there so we can attack you back.
All of our community has big D's.
And on Facebook, Horrible Gamers Podcast Community. That is facebook.com/groups/.horriblegamers. Come join us over there.
Do it. Go now. Do it now.
And if you want to become a Patreon, go to patreon.com/horriblegamers. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Now, on to the corn shortage. Mayo, what's going on over there with the corn shortage?
Happening?
Oh, man, I guess, I don't know. I haven't seen much corn grown at all. Probably because it's kind of out of season. It's probably all...
Is there a crow infestation and they're eating all the corn? Is that what's happening here?
Is there corn mites or something? Somebody brought that up?
Are there corn thieves that are stealing all the corn away?
There you go. That's something I do remember as a kid. I remember always wondering as you would drive out in the country and you seen all this corn everywhere, right? What prevents people from stopping and just pulling off the side of the road and going out and grabbing some corn
ears of corn
and just driving away. There's no way you can watch all that because they have acres and acres and acres.
I remember back in the day, we used to go run around through the cornfields, just having fun. We didn't really steal corn or anything, but we just go hide in the cornfields and then try and find each other. You know what I mean?
Well, that was always a lot of fun. We would do the same thing.
I also did the same thing.
We'd run through it until you run through the spider webs that connect, stalk to stalk, and they'd have these big. We called them zipper spiders. I don't know what they were. As a kid, they were probably a little bit over between a quarter and a half inch long. They were a good sized spider, and you would run through it, and you're like, "Is it on me? Is it on me?" All scared, thinking it was going to eat you. I'm sure it was nothing because we never got eaten, but you would run through there and you'd be like, "Where's it at? Where's it at?"
When I lived in New Jersey, because I've never seen anybody really grow corn here in California. Maybe they do, but out there it was that was obviously the garden state. So we would just get lost and run through the fields a lot out there. It was a lot of fun. But I don't remember big spiders or anything, but they never really scared me either way. Snakes. Now that scares me. But not spiders.
Yeah, spiders. Yeah, I don't care for they don't bother me at all. I can just deal with spider. Unless it's like a tarantula or like some big fucking massive spider coming at me.
Unless you don't know it's on you, and you're like running around and it's on your shoulder or on your back and you don't know it.
Yeah,
you're
probably
like, damn thing off of me,
Yeah.
But
I had a buddy that used to have a tarantula as a pet. That thing freaked me out, but I would hold it. My buddy actually one time was holding it, and he had it in his hand, and it just cocked itself. When a spider gets ready to bolt, and it like legs go up, and he's ready to go, and he did that and bolted up my buddy's arm and right up onto his shoulder, and then my buddy freaked and flicked him off, and he landed on the bed. But he was all right. It didn't hurt the spider, but I think he just freaked out. You know what I mean? Like the spider freaked out. It didn't like my friend for some reason. And because I had held it before and it was fine with me. But my friend, for whatever reason, he just bolted to him. It was crazy.
Ugh.
But after that, I never held that spider again. Because I was like, no.
Yeah. Speaking of spiders, it just reminds me, throwing video games and spiders together, seeing the trailer for, was it Grounded? Where they talk about the spiders in the arachnophobia mode. I forgot until they mentioned it.
That you could turn it on? Mode. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Speaking of spiders, you know what? Let's bring it back to video games as well. Oh my God. This is a game I was talking to Gunny about earlier, but I've always been a huge fan of Earth Defense Force, right? One of my favorite stupid game series. You know what I mean? Like, it's just dumb fun to just blow up insects and watch buildings crumble and stuff like that. But there's this new one called Earth Defense Force World Brothers. And it's like, it looks like Minecraft. You know what I mean? It's voxel kind of graphics. And I don't know, man. It looks like a lot of fun. And I looked into it and I was like, oh my good. It's a full price game. For me, it's $79.99 up here.
$59 here. Wow. In the States.
And it's only on PC and Switch, I think. So, yeah. So $59 in the States. That's much better, but not by much. The EDF games were always budget titles, and it just threw me for a loop to see that so expensive.
No, I don't know. I think I've noticed, though, with EDF is that I've seen it just over the course of even over the especially since the Xbox One era, I know that there have been whatever deals they got going on with, like, oh, this one's only on Steam, or it's on Steam and PlayStation 4 back in the day, where I always felt that even they were like fully priced, unless you got like a disc version from Games Boutique, GameStop, whatever, used copy. You can get them for $15.
Well, back in the day, like the original 3 or 4 were all like $40 games.
They were never fully priced.
They were never full price. But there have been deals going on with Sony for some reason where the last 2 games have only come out on PlayStation 4 and haven't come out on Xbox, but they come out on PC as well. Which are 2 games I've never touched either of those in the series. And I don't remember what the price was on those. They might have been full price when they came out, but I didn't.
I think I bought one for the PlayStation 4, a disc version.
I think I remember you doing that, and that was 4, wasn't it?
I'm going to check right now, because I remember when I first got that PlayStation 4 Pro, I was like, oh, I want to play it, because I can't... Yeah, I couldn't play it on Xbox.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that was 4 that you bought. And then 5 came out a little while ago, and now this game's out.
Yeah, I've got...
But it's an interesting game. Like, check it out if you're interested in that series at all. It seems like a cool game. I just wish it was a little cheaper.
Is this anymore? I have to ask. Is this on Steam or is it on Epic?
It's on Steam, yeah. Steam. I don't know if it's on Epic. I didn't look.
Nice. Yeah, I don't usually look at the Epic Store. I barely ever launch the Epic Store anymore. I don't even claim the free games.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what? When something interests me, I'll claim it. You know what I mean? Just to have it. But most of the time, it's something I've already played. It's just like, yeah, sure, I'll have a PC version of that for free. Why not?
Or my thing is, it seems like they all kind of go in loops. Either like if it's a free game on Epic, it's probably been on Game Pass at some point. It's probably been bundled on Humble Bundle. It's probably been it's been put on somewhere.
Probably own
it's
it
been
or
a PS Plus game or something already. So.
Yeah, so the only
boys.
I know I still have a CD from them. No, the only one I have is it's just from the Xbox 360. I have 2 discs. 2017 and is the name of the game, and then there's another one. They're probably all backwards compatible.
Yeah, I believe they are. That's Motocross Madness.
Yeah, I still have the disc for the PC. Yeah, looking through the
2078. Is that the other one you have?
Which one?
2078.
I don't have that one. No, is that also a backwards compatible game or?
Yeah, I think so, and I think it got given away with gold or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. We kind of went off on a tangent there, didn't we? We stopped talking about corn. At least we started talking about video games.
Hey, that's good. That's a good thing. We should probably stick to that. What do you think?
Sounds good to me. What have you guys been playing?
I'll jump in right away. I've only been playing this one game pretty much most of the week, and that's it's called a Tainted Grail, and I'm enjoying the heck out of this game. It is something I've been playing nonstop. It is there is a name behind it. I would say it's like Condemned or something like that, but they just call it Conquest. So they just call it Tainted Grail on Steam. But so this game is your card builder, Ryan. This is a lot like Slay the Spire. So
really?
It's like Slay the Spire with Demon Souls graphics. So it's really, really nice looking graphics.
I've heard a couple of games like this recently. Like,
and some people are calling this like the best card builder game out there. I mean, that's all a matter of opinion and stuff too.
Yeah.
But I'm finding it really.
Grail?
Yeah, Tainted Grail.
There's a couple games I noticed because there's a Steam sale going on, and I've noticed that one's way at the top for me.
Yeah, this one's on Steam on PC. And it basically, you have like 7 or 8 different classes you can unlock and play as, and each play style is a little different. And this game is hard. Like playing through it, I went and started early on, and I kept dying, and I'm like, I just don't. And this game is called a roguelike and like an RPG. Like you have things you can do, and it's like an endless playthrough possibilities, it says. And so far, like I pretty much have the same experience every time I jump in. So I start a new run, and I only have one way I can go, and it's got like these pathways. You can see the enemy standing on the pathway. It's like top down view, kind of like Diablo, I would say.
Yeah, I'm watching.
And you can mouse and you move over to where the enemies are at, and it starts the fight sequence. You go through the fight. Well, you have like in the first section, there's 4 enemy bosses you have to fight, and so you have to kill all 4 bosses to get basically past this first chapter. And I can get like 3 of them killed, and then when I get to the 4th one, it usually kills me. And so then you have to start all the way back over. You don't have to. You have to kill all 4 bosses again.
And do you collect cards? Like
you do collect cards, and they do go in your decks permanently. So like say you do defeat some enemies, or you gain a level, because it does track your XP. You will get new cards for that class. Now there's different classes. You start off with this one class, and he basically just marks enemies. Like so every time you hit him, the 4th hit does extra damage. And you take hits left and right. You have a block card. You have an attack card. They have all the indicators above them, what they plan on doing. If the enemy's going to heal, if the enemy has a buff going on, it has a armor rank, and stuff like that. So you got to kind of strategize when to attack, when to defend. And then you only have to play that character just a little bit. It unlocks the next character, which I used a lot, and that's a summoner character. And that summoner character basically will summon other minions to fight with you, and it redirects all the damage to them. So it made the game a lot easier, especially fighting the first boss, because instead of all the enemies attacking you specifically, it redirects it to your other summoned allies. And this one ally is a golem, and it basically redirects all damage to you to it. So like every time the enemy hits you, it directs the damage to the golem, and you keep healing up the golem, and it never attacks. The only thing the golem ever does is heal itself. So when it comes to its turn, attacker, you want to use it, it just heals itself. That becomes a point. That you get your typical 3 points. Your allowed points per turn, and you got cards that are worth 3 points, 1 point, 0 points. So there's different cards for perks. It can redirect damage to different places. There's things where you can decrease their armor and stuff like that. But I don't know. It's got really good music. I'm really enjoying the music that they've added to this game. It's not a big selection to it, but it's just got a nice little beat to it. As I'm sitting there playing this card game, and thinking my way through it. It just kind of has a nice rhythm to it, and so I enjoy it in that aspect. But I don't know. Like I said, I don't see all the roguelike elements to it, except the fact I'm starting over every time I die and getting a little stronger. But I just don't feel like I'm progressing as fast as I should. Like I don't know how many hours. Let me see how many hours I have in this game. I have some hours in it already. I've got 8 hours in it, and I'm still technically in the first chapter. Yeah. So I'm trying to get through that. So I'm not sure how deep this game will go.
That's just one character.
And I've used like 2 characters, and each character has its own set of cards you can unlock and use. And so as you beat enemies, and you beat some of these bosses, they drop new cards you get to pick, and it'll tell you if it's a new card. Like, oh, here's a new card you can pick from.
Yeah.
And stuff. And then there's these candles you have to use. So when you're walking around, it has like a candle. It kind of lights your way. You have like a fog of war. And the brighter the candle is the more you'll see when you're walking around. So you don't just accidentally run into an enemy. Or you can see some allies on the map. So the map has allies that are scattered upon it. And they'll be guarded by like some kind of enemy. And you beat that enemy, that you talk to that ally, he may actually go back to your town where you start. And then he can help you with your journeys. There's like a blacksmith I found, a seamstress, and so they can change. You can buy upgrades. And some of this stuff, though, like you get, like there's this candle maker who makes those candles that can light up the area. And so when you use those candles, it makes a dust automatically. That dust has to build up, and he uses that dust to craft you new stuff. So like you can only get new stuff by playing it more often or burning more of those candles.
Yeah.
They also add to these candles an effect to like going into combat. If your torch isn't very bright, it shows like a strength of your torch. It will automatically put a card in your hand, and you have to use it that turn. And it could be a negative card if your candle isn't real bright, or a positive card. So like say you go in and your candle is like on full potential, it'll say you get like for this turn a bonus 50% damage. But if it's dim, when you go into a fight, it could say you take 50% more damage. And you have to play the card, or there's some kind of penalty associated with that card. So if you didn't play the card and take that 50% bonus damage, it could be like you lose 25% armor the rest of the whole battle. So
a debuff, like, okay. Yeah. So it's like extra difficult. Let's see.
And then you have your XP, you have money, and then you have literally these candle ashes, and then you have these gems and a lot of stuff that you can basically combine to make yourself stronger. You get some passive abilities too as you beat enemies. It gives you a choice between 3 passive abilities for that run, and it could be something again like gain 5 more damage, or gain 25% more armor, or something like that. As an example, like you could just I get this passive ability, or you get this passive ability with a summoner. Like you can automatically spawn two people with you early on, because when you go into a fight, you only have one person spawned automatically. And even then you can choose like that. There's a serpent that does attacking. There's a golem that he redirects all the damage to him. There's like this Fae that basically increases your ultimate. You have an ultimate that takes so many turns, and the Fae will buff that, so it makes it increase faster. And basically the ultimate for the summoner I've been using will level up your minion, and you can pick the minion you want to promote, and you promote it, and he'll gain like 4 levels, and then he becomes stronger and does more damage, has more health and stuff like that. So like you got some choices to make in there too. So each character of these 7 characters you can unlock have their own ultimate, have their own playstyle and stuff to them too, and they have their own unique cards.
Nice.
So I've played it a little bit. So it does have that roguelike feel to it, but it's just kind of a slow grind so far. Which could be good. It gives you some replayability. I think it's like a $20 game, if I remember right.
It's on sale.
Yeah, I think it's on sale right now for $15 or something. Yeah, it's Well, it's $15.95 up here. It's probably like $10 down there, I would think. Something like that.
Yeah, so I recommend it if you like card games and if you like Slay the Spire, less
that'd be me.
But
that would be for me.
I'm enjoying it quite a bit. Yeah, so it's $13.99 right now on Steam.
Damn, there's a game I'm looking at. I'm not going to mention it now because it's in my cart, and I'm like, oh man, I really wanted to play this game, but I'm not going to say what it is just in case I take it out of the cart and not buy it. But yeah, so many good games right there on Steam that are on sale right now. Slay the Spire, yeah, amazing game.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only game I've been playing this week. It's called Tainted Grail Conquest. There is another Tainted Grail, but I'm not sure what that is. I think it's an older version. Like this is like a new version. So
yeah, did you? I think it's called Ratropolis, but I think that one plays a little bit different. I mean, it's like card based, but not like a Slay the Spire or the one you mentioned. Kind of that same realm of RPG style type stuff.
Yeah, I did mess around a little bit, Gunny. I did mess around for some reason. I was kind of bored. I felt like playing Mario Kart on the Switch. I don't know why. The game's old, and I just kind of sat back and just played some Mario Kart in the living room for a while the other day.
Nice.
Why not?
Yeah.
Just some mindless little racing, throwing shells at people.
Yeah.
Pretty much everything in that game is unlocked. My kids unlocked it all like within the first week.
Yeah.
Like they love Mario Kart. So I just didn't even have to do anything. I pretty much have everything there for me or, to unlock. So there's no reason to like play it to unlock anything. It just play it to play it.
Play it, yeah.
I played it, it was a couple months ago at like an arcade. But yeah, and then I played it at a customer stop as well at work. So instead of working, I was playing Mario Kart. Yeah. So funny how I don't own a Switch and I've played it in a couple different places.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing. What about you, Gunny?
So I was talking to Ryan. Oh no, I was showing you that screenshot, Ryan, but we didn't talk about it at all. And that was at Infinity Pinball. I don't know what I think Thursday or Friday. I was like, I don't know why this keeps popping up in my feed. Maybe because I have Pinball FX or something. And yeah, so this is only on iOS and Android.
Android, yeah.
And so maybe Ryan, you could probably describe the game better if you did play it. But it's it's almost like a roguelike pinball game. It's really weird. You're trying to get up levels, so there'll be a bunch of stuff in your way, like bumpers and stuff and whatever, and there'll be a hole at the top, and if you get it through the hole in the top of the pinball table, it'll go up into another level. And then you keep it going, you get it through the hole, you go up another level. So you try and see how many levels you can get, how high you can get. But you only have 3 balls, so if you lose the ball 3 times, sometimes you can drop down a level and get it back up again. But sometimes there's like a little like bumper there that if you hit it, it takes your heart away. And you only have 3 hearts, and if you lose all 3 hearts, you start over again. So it's a roguelike like that, you know what I mean? Where it's like, try and see how far you can get, how high you can get in the tower. And, point based, and it's pinballs, ramps, bumpers, and stuff like that. I want to say I want to say also that it's
cool looking. It almost looks a lot like a little cleaner Sonic Spinball kind of.
There you go. That's a good way to put it. Yeah. Like, would you say 16-bit, and then all of the I don't want to say sound sprites, but just more of the sound bites are from Super Mario Brothers 3. I'm just pulling that out of my ass here because I'm pretty sure.
I don't know where you get that.
No, listen to it. It's got all the Yoshi sounds and everything and the jumping sounds. Yeah,
I don't think I really go back and listen that much with the volume on, so maybe I didn't catch it. I don't know.
Yeah, Super Mario Brothers 3, I want to say, is where they got some of those sound bites.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I don't know. I was like it was like the one thing like the last couple of days where I'm like, I'm gonna go back and play a couple more rounds. Fuck it, I'll watch one of their stupid ads to continue the game. Yeah, but it is like there's probably some pay to win stuff, but it's more, hey, how many points can you get? I think that's the whole key, right? Whoever's got, it's a local high score thing, not like you're competing against friends or anything like that. So I think the most I've gotten up to is 12,000. So I'm like, oh shit, I'm going to keep going, see how
And then you can unlock stuff, right? Like you can
tables, I think, or not tables, but
not tables, like just cosmetics and
cosmetic
stuff. Like that,
yeah.
Right?
I don't know. I unlocked that orange ball, the first one, and then I felt like it wasn't as, like it didn't go as high as the regular other ball.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure if that makes a difference or not. But maybe I think what it is, that's the other thing too, where let's say you go up a level. I think those bumpers are going to shoot balls differently. So it kind of changes that way. Where I think when you're on the first one, I don't know. I think that changes. I'm pretty sure. As you change a table, it changes how far the ball will hit. The other thing too was, and I don't know if you find it, Ryan, but there was no nudge, no.
I couldn't nudge it either.
I was like, I couldn't find.
But when you drop down, you just go down another table unless there's
unless there's something in the way that takes a heart away. That's what kind of threw me. But then I'm like, okay, I get it. Again, with the mobile game thing here, it's not gonna give me a pass. It's gonna want me to pay for a freaking
something.
Yeah. Buy more time, buy this or that, but it's not throwing it in your face either.
If you're looking for a mobile game and you like pinball, I think you might get a kick out of it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, just something to pass the time really quick. Yeah.
Is that all you've been playing, Gunny?
No, the other thing I played was this was something that Leahy he was talking about getting Green Hill. So this is a survival craft game in the Amazon forest, the Amazon rainforest. And the only thing I did today was just make it through the tutorial. And as far as I know, it's a little more less forgiving than other games, where it did have like what I call a baby mode, but I went with the second tier up, whichever it was called. I was like, no, I'm not going to do baby mode. I want to start off with
toddler mode. We'll call it toddler mode.
Toddler mode, yeah. Junior mode, right? I played junior mode on that. And but yeah, you can kind of go watch some videos where it talks about, I think I need to know, because in the tutorial you start off with a machete, right? And you're talking to your wife or / girlfriend on your radio about, hey, don't you remember how to craft bandages or whatever? So it's kind of bringing you through that stuff, and go cut down some leaves, and you have like a crafting table. Well, it's not like a physical one. It's something you bring up in your HUD from your backpack. So, and maybe the other thing might be where, I don't know. It's something I'm going to continue to play. I just finished it like before we started recording. So, still have more to go on it this week. I'll have more on it next week. So maybe I have to go through something to hit, before I can start co-oping the game, because there's no talk about it. It's just more, not sure how that element of the game works, but either way, it looks really good, Mayo. I had it at, I think I put all the settings on medium, and I was running it like 70 to 80 frames, so it looks good.
Nice. That game, I think that game's probably been out for a year or so at least. I remember hearing of it like a long time ago.
Yeah, because a lot of the videos,
it was in early access for a long time.
The videos I see are like from 5 months ago and stuff, 6 months ago. Yeah.
But yeah, I remember when it was mentioned like a long time ago, and people had interest in it, and I never picked it up.
Yeah, but it's got it's one of those things where like you're walking through the forest and it'll say like, I mean, it won't say. You just, if you're watching a video, it'll tell you, but it's like, there's a rattlesnake. Yeah, you get bit, you're gonna fucking die, like, or you can pick up the dart frog, but I think if you lick the frog, it's poisonous, man. You're not supposed to lick frogs. No. But
probably not a good idea.
Yeah, don't lick the dart frogs, because you'll die. But yeah, it's one of you crafting hunger, manage your hunger and your thirst. Yeah, but I like the interface of it, of how you can bring up your watch, and it just, like on your left arm, it'll show you, hunger, thirst, injuries or whatever, and then you can change it, and it turns into a compass, like really quick. So it's kind of cool. I like it.
Yeah, I want to say this came out around the same time the game Scum.
Oh, that's the other one I was thinking of. Yeah.
So I think they came around the same time, and I think they were maybe just an early access, and so maybe it's gone full release now. So I ended up picking up Scum and playing through that. And I haven't picked that game up in a while. I should jump back into it. A friend of mine was streaming it the other night, and she was having a good time with it, and it looks so much different. So maybe you should check it out sometime. But
So tell me about this Scum. Does it have a little? I haven't watched it on Twitch in over a year. Is it more zombies or is it more PvP? Which one is it, you think?
I would say at this point it's probably more zombies. I mean, you find random zombies as you're running around the area, and you kill them, and you basically can use every part of them for crafting. Like, you can chop them up. I remember you would kill one like as an NPC. You'd kill it and you'd chop it up into little pieces, and it'd be all laying there in the ground, and you could use the bone, the meat, and everything in game to craft. So you could take the clothes and you could cut the clothing up, or you could just wear the clothes, or then you could do so many things in that game. I remember being so in depth with, you have to eat, and then you can get an upset stomach, and your character has to use the bathroom more often, and you gotta go pee and poop in the woods. And, as you're running around, and it can affect the way your character behaves, and if you're starving or whatever, it affects your abilities and stuff like that. So it was a very hardcore game in that aspect, because you're always searching for food and you're always trying to do something, but you have to watch to make sure you eat something that's not going to upset your stomach as a character, because next thing you know, your character has to go to the bathroom nonstop, like all the time and stuff, and nothing like getting chased by a horde of monsters or whatever. And there are these mechs
to get stopped halfway and piss.
Right, there's these mechs in these controlled military areas. Yeah. And basically, you want to sneak into those areas, and you can get inside, and you can't really take on a mech by yourself. So you pretty much have bow and arrows and staffs and stuff. You have wooden made weapons, and so as you sneak into these military places, you can find guns and stuff. But these mechs patrol it, and it reminds me of that two-legged mech from old RoboCop days.
Right, yeah.
It walks around and with a searchlight, and it finds out you in there. I remember one time, the last time I played it, I think I was playing with Ghost Nico, actually. We found one in this area, and it was being patrolled by this mech. And we both managed to sneak into this facility, and we found all these weapons, and we're like, oh, we got this. This is awesome. And one of us was seen by the mech through a window in the military place. And so I'm like, oh, we're good, and it's on an alert now, and it's shooting, and you can hear it doing different things outside, and you're like, okay, how are we gonna get out of here without getting shot up and getting away with all these weapons? And the next thing I know, it starts killing us through the windows. So I'm like, we gotta hide. So we're hiding in these rooms, and then it ends up at some point in time, it starts shooting through walls, and it shot us through the walls, and evidently that's something they can do in the game, and so we end up dying and trying to respawn back outside that area. When you respawn, you have nothing. You don't have, and you go back and try to get your stuff. But then it was twice as hard because the mech was still on alert. So you'd have a hard time walking around, and it was just basically guarding all of our stuff, and we could never get back in. And I think that's probably the last time we played that game.
Yeah,
I think that was probably the funnest part I watched on Twitch, was watching people trying to get into the a military outpost or something. Not so much stone buildings or whatever, but they were all tents. And they were trying to distract those things, act as decoys so the other people can go in and get guns. But, yeah. Yeah,
if I remember right, too, because there's these wild, wolves or wild animals or something, too, that was in there. And there was an area right outside that military base that had those. And so when we respawned right by them, and then they would just attack us, and we had no weapons or no clothes or no armor or nothing. So then that just created another problem too, and then it just kind of went from there.
Oh, because all your shit's on the ground, yeah.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah. And if I didn't mention Green Hell, I know it's on consoles as well, but I did purchase this on Steam on sale. The big Steam sale, whatever it's called. Play mouse and keyboard.
How's your mouse and keyboard skills getting Gunny? You getting better at it now?
No, not so much. I feel like this mouse, I still have my other one, but this one's the Glorious, right? Is that what it's called? Glorious?
Yeah, the Glorious Model.
I don't know. I feel like when I'm left clicking on, let's say Windows icon or whatever, and you got to double click, to actually open it. I feel like I'm either, I don't know, it doesn't feel right for some reason. Maybe I'm old. Maybe that's what it is. I'm just too fucking old for, a glorious mouse. And I need
be so glorious. Don't be so glorious, Gunny.
I need to go back to my HP mouse, right? My old clickety clack mouse. My big giant white mouse.
I have this heavy Logitech G903. It's like a wireless mouse. It's got like the really low latency and all that stuff. But it's a heavy mouse. And when my son comes over to my apartment, when he stays here, he likes a light mouse. So he brings his Model O with him because that thing is like a third of the weight. And so it's so funny, like he just can't stand my mouse. So when he comes to stay here, he brings his mouse for when he's playing his CSGO and Valorant and stuff because he plays ranked.
He's got the Model
I can't change anything. And he don't even like it even when he comes over on my PC because I have a 280 hertz monitor now. He has a 144 hertz monitor, so the frame rate on the monitor actually kind of throws him off a little bit, he says, because I don't know if it's the quality or whatever you want to call it, but just the timing just kind of throws him off just a little bit because the refresh rate matches the monitor is a little higher on my end. So
yeah, he's got the Model O. I've got the Model D. I think that was the difference. Yeah, I'm just looking on
Mouse Talk.
Model D, man. It's got a picture of the dude. Looks like a PC Master Race on it, but it's got all kinds of RGB on it. Brian, it's fucking badass as hell.
Yeah.
It's too much for me.
I'm still rocking the same old setup. No.
But no, I still have this old ass keyboard here. Suits me fine.
Yep.
But what have you been playing, Brian? What have you games?
I have been playing a few games. I've been playing a whole lot of the Mass Effect remake. That's been great playing through that. Like it's really well done. If you never played Mass Effect before, or if you've played it, you should play this because you know already. I think Mass Effect 3 is like I'm just starting Mass Effect 3 now, but I think Mass Effect 3 is pretty good. Like I don't know. I think I felt that way back in the day too. Like I always felt like Mass Effect 3 was still pretty good. 2's better, but I think the improvements they made on 3 were way better. Like for making the game better.
Yeah.
Anyways. What else? Because like you guys have talked about that. Jesus will probably come back and continue talking about it. So when those game demos were out during E3, I played Tunic. Did any of you guys play that at all?
No, I didn't get.
It's like the Zelda-like kind of game. Like it's pretty. You're like a little fox, and you have a tunic. And you wander around with a sword. You get a shield. You know what I mean? Like it's Zelda, pretty much format, but with a different character. It was a lot of fun, and it's pretty creative. It was only like a slice. They said it was like a remix of like different levels. It may not be laid out like that in the real game. You know what I mean? Like it was just like a remix of a bunch of stuff that you could play through, and it was a lot of fun. I thought it was pretty cool. So, and I've been waiting for that game for a long time. It's been in development forever, but the other game I played during that time was Lake. Have you guys heard about this?
It sounds familiar.
I don't think so.
Okay, you're basically you're going to do your dad a favor, and he's a mailman, so you have to go back to this town that you grew up in. You haven't been there in 20 years, and you deliver mail. It's very relaxing and very like it's just there's a story, and you just drive around and deliver your mail. It's not like you're not shooting anybody, nothing wacky's going on.
No mailing shooting people.
Anyway.
You're not going like postal anywhere.
You're basically going in and delivering mail to these addresses and driving around this beautiful mountain town. You know, like it. I didn't mind it. I mean, I know it's not for everybody, but I didn't hate it. You know, it was all right.
What is this, like an Edith Finch or like a Alan Wake or what? Like a
kind of, but it didn't go any like sci-fi directions, like you know what I mean, like it. But it's got that kind of style, that Alan Wake. You're wandering around. I don't know, man. Yeah, it has that kind of like the way the game plays, but without combat. You know, you're basically talking to these people that you haven't seen in 20 years. You know, like you went to school with these people and you're running into them and they have conversations with you. So that's how the story kind of progresses. And I don't know, maybe something crazy happens. Who knows? But what I played of it, nothing crazy had happened. It was just like all these people that you met, and you just drove around and delivered mail, and hey, what do you deliver next? And sometimes there's a little puzzle or whatever, but it was fun. I think that comes out soon, but I'm not sure. And then the last thing that I've been playing, I just started playing before we started recording, was Dark Alliance. That game's stupid fun, but it's very repetitive. It's very simple, kind of. I think, you know, as far as what I've played so far, anyways.
Yeah,
I'm glad it's on Game Pass.
Yeah. I hear it's mediocre even for fans of. It's made by, what is it? The Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, it's Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance. Yeah.
I think I downloaded it on the console because I started playing something else on PC. I forgot what it was, but
I think if you had a group of friends that wanted to play this game, you would have some fun, because it's more about, you know, you're interacting with somebody, you know, shooting the shit or whatever while you're doing it. It's not as tedious as I've been playing single player, so just playing through, and it's basically, you know, X, or right trigger, right bumper, right trigger, right bumper, right bumper, right trigger, right bumper, right trigger. You know, it's a lot of repetitive stuff. So, but I enjoyed what I played of it. You know, I played about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. Got through a couple of missions. I'll probably go back to it, but it's not blowing my socks off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I thought it was going to be a lot better.
Yeah, I think
a little bit of a disappointment, but it's still worth checking out, especially if you're interested in that like series, like the Dungeons and Dragons stuff. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, other than that, that's about all I've been playing.
Do you guys find, I'm just kind of thinking about that being a Game Pass game, and that's something I haven't played or picked up. Do you guys find, like, I know myself, I do this. Well, I go through my Game Pass games, and I don't feel like I give the games the attention I feel like I should if I would have bought them. So, like, I will try out games way more often than I would say, okay, I'm not going to buy this or that. But I don't stick with it like I used to. Like, I have so many games, I look at my Game Pass, I'm like, yeah, I tried that, it wasn't bad. I tried that, it wasn't bad. You know, I tried that wasn't bad. You know, I just put a little bit of time in each game, but never really had the time to, like, dive into them, because I'm like, oh, I'm going to go check something else out. Do you think that could be, like, a negative to the Game Pass, like, down the road, as they keep adding games? And, you know, as we get all these bigger titles coming out, you know, these littler titles that you can try them out and you may really get hooked, I could see.
Yeah.
But for me, you know, it's like,
and that's the thing though, but it gives you the choice. It gives you the choice. If you're hooked with a game, then you'll keep playing it, and you keep playing it. If you're not, there's so much more there for you to try. And that's the whole point of Game Pass in the first place. And I get what you're saying, but if it doesn't hook you, then it doesn't hook you. That's sort of the point of Game Pass, is so that you can keep looking, you know?
Yeah, you can get... I mean, you get those games that you can really enjoy. Like I said, you might, if you listen to the show, Gibbs, another one you might like was Undermine.
I love that game.
Up and I started playing that, and I really enjoyed it. Yeah. And I haven't went back to it for a little while, because I started playing Biomutant after that. But
how is Biomutant? I've been so...
How is Biomutant?
Yeah, I mean, everything I've heard is bad.
I don't think it's a bad game.
Yeah. How Breath of the Wild is it?
There is things. What was that?
How Breath of the Wild is it?
I never played Breath of the Wild, so I can't really compare the two. I never picked it up with Switch. I didn't want to pay $60 for an old Switch game.
Yeah.
But for me, I mean, the little things that are annoying. One, the way they name everything, and it's okay at first, but the titling of things, it's like a real little kid would name something.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's so primitive. You just get tired of hearing it after a while. You're like, and so you're like, okay. Then the
narrator guy. Guy.
But then the elements of the game, like the gameplay, can be really simple. Like you pick up items. Okay, this is better. Okay, the biggest thing is combos. You learn different combos, and you can unlock some abilities for your character. But I mean, that's pretty much the meat of it. I mean, there is more advanced stuff, but the things I was running into, and what my son ran into, he finished the game pretty early. He beat it in the first weekend.
Yeah.
Say you go into the secret area, and so you're like level 20, and you have this piece of gear on, and you can go into this area here, and you find this legendary item, because items have rarity quality, and so this item will be legendary, and it would be like an armor piece or a helmet, and that the helmet you have could be just maybe rare in quality and be way better than the legendary piece you just find. So it felt like once we started getting later in the game, everything we found was just trash, and we were pretty much sticking with the same items all the time. Like, oh, look at this legendary helmet I found. It has 25 plus armor, and the piece I have right now has 60 plus armor. And I'm like, why is this thing a legendary item when it has such a little armor? So you just trash it or you recycle it, and
so that carrot on the stick kind of falls off a little too early, right?
Yeah.
Would you say?
And then the leveling system, I guess they just increased your max level that you can be, but it's not required to beat the game. Like, you can go through pretty much and beat the game at any time you want. The difficulty of different enemies doesn't really change from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. So you have these 4 elite monsters, you can call them, that you have to kill on top of fighting these factions. And if you choose to go after these monsters, you can choose to fight them in any order that you want. Like, I fought them in a different order than what my son did. Like, I fought this one first, and he fought that one last.
Yeah. So in that way, it's like Breath of the Wild, where you can go.
Yeah. So it's just a matter of whenever you want to take on that section of the map, kind of thing. Yeah. And then as you're fighting the other tribes, you do get new weapons from them tribes. So you have all these goals throughout the map. Like, these tribes will have little territories, and you basically take over the territory. It's like a little fort sequence. You go in and you raid the fort, and you got to maybe fight a handful of enemies, and it's a couple battle sequences. It's like you walk through a doorway and you're in an arena, and there's 20 guys you got to fight. You fight all those 20 guys, and it opens the doorway up, and you go to the next area. Then eventually you'll have a fort boss or a territory boss, and you'll beat him, and then you weaken that territory. And then as you beat so many territories, it unlocks the final fight for the leader of that group. You go and you fight him, and then you get his special weapon. Like, he'll have some kind of special weapon, and you can add it to you. So then you have this extra weapon you can run around through. So it does progress and give you some new weapons you can use. But again, we found items in the game that were way better than everything else that you just seem to get later on.
Yeah.
We found this gun that it does the electricity damage, and it would just tear through bosses. It would stun them and just tear them apart.
Yeah,
and then
why use
sword,
anything else, right?
Yeah, and we found this sword that has fire on it, so it lights them on fire and does a massive amount of damage. And so, if you want to use close range, you find this sword, and then it just takes care of everything. My son was going in under level big time. I mean, he had both that sword and that gun, and he was just destroying enemies. They had huge health bars, and it was just going down in massive chunks. And so, but it does have a deeper side to it in spots. The crafting and stuff is kind of more complex, and takes a minute to figure out. If you can mix things together and stuff like that, you do have different stances, and there's some things that we didn't even completely figure out in the game, but we didn't even need to use them to get through it. So it's okay, you could probably really put some time into it and learn all these things, but you can also bolt right through this game.
Yeah.
The other thing is
you could get bored
beat it in 10 hours.
Right?
You beat it in 10 hours if you just wanted to streamline it.
Yeah.
If you wanted to pick up all the side quests that they give you, oh my gosh, this game's probably a good 60+ hour game, because it literally will give you a side quest and you think, okay, I'm going to track this side quest, and it takes you all over the map. It'll say like, find these 12 bulletin boards, and you think in 12 like
side quests
in that area. No, the 12 bulletin boards are within the whole entire map. It tells you where they're at, and it tells you what area. So it's like, okay, I'm in this part of the map and I have to travel all the way across the country to get to this other bulletin board. So it's like, I'm not doing that right now because I'm way down here and you have to walk, or
there's no fast travel.
There is fast travel, but you have to find the signs.
Yeah. Okay.
So as you
like
go there and you're exploring, you will find like this totem or a sign, if I remember right. And your character actually pees on it. He walks up to it and pees on it. And that's how you activate fast travel to that area. So like, if you have to go across the map, if you don't have that area unlocked, you're running up there. But then you're finding all these other things, and you're talking to people. It's like all of a sudden you're talking to 2 different people, and they give you like 2 other side quests. And next thing you know, you got 20 side quests open on your quest tab, and you're just like, what do I want to do? It's almost too much sometimes. And you're like, oh, I don't really feel like completing this right now because, I'm going to go do this, or I'm the kind of guy that likes to clear out one whole area. And so that kind of stuff drives me nuts. Like, you have these quests in that area, and you pick them all up, and it's like, run way over here and do this. It's like, no, I want to make sure this area is all done.
This area is finished.
And I've explored everything.
But that's the thing, though. Everything you go into in that area is going to send you on another.
Yeah, and then you find a new thing. It's like, hey, go over here. It's like, no, I don't want to go over there right now.
I don't want to.
So, I mean, it was enjoyable, though. Like I said, I don't regret my purchase of it. I did buy this on the Xbox One X. But
I was wondering if you bought it on Steam. I was like, I'll Mayo pass it.
Yeah. So I did buy it because I was playing a lot on my OLED TV in the living room because I had the puppy and she was young. I mean, she's still young, but she was running around just tearing the house apart, and I did not want her in my room with my computer because she likes to run behind where the cords are at, and I hear her chewing on things and getting her out, and I'm trying to do this and that. And next thing I know, and if I'm playing in here, I'm not paying attention to her. So the next thing I know, I hear her underneath my bed, and I hear this chomping noise. And I had all my computer boxes and stuff underneath there.
Oh, no.
And so the next thing I know, I'm like, all right. So I had to dedicate a day to clean it out underneath my bed. And I always save all my computer boxes. So I had like my motherboard box and my, like the only box I didn't save was probably my tower, because it's just a big box. But my CPU box and my motherboard box and hard, they're all underneath there. All the paperwork's underneath there. All the extra wires and screws and nuts and bolts, that's all in those boxes. Next thing I know, I hear ripping a box open, and she's running away from me with something in her mouth. I'm trying to figure out what it is. So I end up just cleaning out underneath my whole entire bed, and now it's just empty under there. But now she grabs something she can't have. She just runs and hides under my bed. But yeah, so I was playing a lot in the living room and playing it on the OLED. It looked really good, but my only complaint was like it would struggle sometimes. My little Xbox One X.
You were playing on a One X, yeah, okay.
Yeah, and so it would struggle. Like once you got to areas that had open water, because it's an open world game. Dude, once you started getting in the water, you could really notice the frame drops. Like it was times where the game would stutter. Like
I still have my One X. I have my Project Scorpio One X.
Same here.
And my God, I can't go back to it. Like when I turn it on, even like trying to like load up YouTube, it takes forever to do anything on that thing.
It does take a long time to load stuff. That does bug me still.
I don't know. Like it was like I never noticed it before. You know what I mean? Like I really didn't until I went back and I was like, oh my God, it is so slow.
Yeah.
But the Series X is just snap, snap, snap. Snap, 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 snap. It's right there.
That's the beauty of those SSDs, like that's old, they're using regular hard drive technology from, how long has that been on PC? Yeah. I mean, that's, you're old hard drives. I mean, you don't use those anymore on PCs for a computer.
They were only 5,200 RPM, I think.
Yeah.
Like they were slower drives.
Yeah, so when they were mechanical drive, they were still slower drive, So now you got these SSDs, which is huge, and that's what I was always saying to the new consoles when they come out. The biggest thing is the speed, but you're really going to notice it as a console player because when you're used to that old Xbox speed and you went to this new Xbox speed of loading, it's night and day.
I have that on my PC as well, right? Like I have the M.2 drive on my PC, but I think my motherboard only does 3 gig per second or something like that.
Right, yeah, there's a bandwidth on your motherboard that goes to your CPU. And as motherboards have gotten newer, they've gotten faster. They can hold a better bandwidth. Yeah. So as you get a newer motherboard, you can get a better M.2 that has a faster read and write. Right. So everybody, some people just think
3 gig a second is pretty fast anyways. Right. So I mean like
some people think I have an M.2, I'm good. But if you have an old first gen M.2, you're only like 2,200 megabyte per second, which is like 2.2 gig per second. And now the new ones are doing 5 gigabyte per second. So and I think there's even some out there that are really expensive that are higher than that. Yeah. So even with the M.2s, there's a big difference with your motherboards and how new your motherboard is and stuff. So
I was glad the motherboard I bought had 2 slots. So I got at that time it was really expensive. So I only got like a 256 to run my operating system, right? So that runs Windows. Or no, was it a 128? Might have been a 128. I can't remember. But anyways, and then I got a 500 gig for the second one for like games and programs and stuff like that. Yeah.
That's pretty much what I did in my last build. Not my newest one, but my old one I gave to my son and stuff. That had the old Intel i7 like 6700K. And that one had 3 M.2s when they first come out, slots in that motherboard. And it was like a Z170 board. And it had 3 slots. So what I did the same thing like you. I did a 256 gig M.2 for just Windows.
Yeah.
And then I put a 500 in it for just games. And then I never did use the 3rd slot. And then I bought a 4 terabyte regular hard drive for all my pictures and videos and stuff like that I wanted to keep. That I didn't care if it loaded slow, so. But that was just, like a matter of preference then, because that stuff was expensive back then. I mean, those hard drives were a couple $100 for a 200 gig, hard drive.
Yep. It wasn't, well, I think I got a pretty good deal on mine when I got it, but they were just starting to
I think we lost Brian for a second.
Oh, did you lose me?
Oh, but yeah, I lost you for a second there.
Am I back?
Yep, you're back. You're good.
Oh, there we go. Okay. That sucks. So yeah, PC. We're in the PC corner here. What's going on?
Yeah, we ran Gunny off.
Hey! Yeah, Gunny said he'd be right back. So have you seen the Windows 11 stuff?
I've only just read a couple of little things. I haven't really dug down into it. I'm not really excited yet, so I don't know.
I'm a little bit excited. There's a way, like you can make your PC a gaming focused Windows PC now with Windows 11. Like there's like an option where it's like, okay, we can integrate, to run better for gaming, instead of being like a workstation. You know what I mean? So
yeah. It just worries me because Microsoft has never been real concrete in the stuff they do.
Yeah,
look at the Windows Store. The Windows Store was bad. The original Game Pass app was kind of bad and kind of wonky, and even getting in the group chat and stuff like that with the social networking and stuff through the Game Pass app was hard for a while. And then when they came out with the Windows, whatever let's call it in Windows 10, then the Windows Hub or whatever, the Game Hub, you hit Windows and the G button, and it will pull up all your information. That stuff was actually hurting some performance of people that didn't want it on. And you have to manually go in and turn that stuff off because it automatically enabled the recording, the DVR features and stuff like that. So, if you had a weaker PC and you didn't know all that stuff was on because they didn't flat out tell you. Yeah, it's just bogging it down and just taking away valuable resources, and it's recording stuff on your hard drive, and you're not even,
aware of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I've had friends before be like, "What's all this?" He's like, "I have 200 gigabyte of storage taken up on my hard drive." And they get looking, and it's video clips that stuff is automatically saved that they didn't even know was being saved.
Yeah.
And they're all getting guilty of that. I know NVIDIA has a thing that will record clips for you and highlights automatically. It works with PUBG and Fortnite. When my son was playing Fortnite on my PC, since he was really good and getting, 10, 15 kills a game, it would record each kill. And so, his run, he would get as a highlight each time he killed somebody. So, he would just one day him playing, I'd have 10 gigs of storage taken up on my PC because this thing was recording nonstop. So we figured out how to disable it, and I would have to go back and delete old videos and stuff. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of handy if you were like a content creator. I think like, I have this on. But
and that's
how
the
many
thing,
of us
right?
are?
That's what it's gonna. That's what.
How many of us are actually YouTubers where we need it backed up? If you're playing on Twitch and you're just streaming it live, that's different than having a backup video recording and 4K or 8K sitting on your PC every time you kill somebody.
Yeah, that's crazy.
People like right now with the new Xboxes and stuff, they how important storage is, and it could be the same way with PC. These hard drives are expensive, and I don't want my $400 hard drive taken up with videos that I don't even know are being recorded or saved.
I think some of it is stored locally, or maybe it's not. I think that maybe the new way of doing things now is, let's say you go to record a clip or whatever, you set it for 30 seconds or 1 minute, whatever it might be. Mm-hmm. And I think what it does is there's only so much storage allocated to that for that feature, because then if you do want to,
it'll start deleting old ones and stuff.
I think it automatically does it now, instead of saying like, hey, like your storage is full, you need to do something, because there are options like, upload it to your OneDrive, upload it to Xbox Live or something like that. It's called Xbox Live. It's basically like a cloud storage, versus your local cache or whatever it might be on your box. I think that relates to... It might be the same way for maybe even the One X. I'm not sure if it's the same like on the Series S and X. So they just changed the way they did things. Because you can change it now, like... I always keep my clips in 4K. Like, okay, sure, it's a 4K box, why not?
But it's only like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
If it's in 4K, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, the only other things I've just read real quick, and they kind of were kind of like, one was it says it's going to support Android apps. So
yeah, but through the Amazon store.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
So it's a curated version by Amazon of the apps of the Google App Store. Like, why are you going through Amazon? This makes no sense. Google and Microsoft just hate each other. Like, if they didn't hate each other so much, it would just be like, fucking, here's the Play Store in Windows, you know? But they have such a hate for each other, they won't work together.
And, and Apple, right? They also hate on the Microsoft as well. As
you see so many PCs now that become like 2-in-1s and more almost tablet based, I'm afraid they're going to start losing, way they, not necessarily the way they are now, but things are starting to become so app based, and everything is being fed through apps now. Even, when you install something now through Windows, they call it an app. We used to call it a program, as old boomers, we would, the Windows programmer.
I remember the days.
Now it's go to this app and then, launch it.
Everything's an app now.
Yes.
Yeah, and so it's just kind of funny if they give it a name like that. But I just fear that eventually here it's going to be so much tablet-like. Like, they know the future is in tablets. They know it's mobile.
That's where it's going.
And I feel like they're just going to keep pushing toward that. And how does that change development for games? How does that change development for things? Because things are going to launch probably different and launch more like an app, maybe instead of the way that's before. And so, how does that affect things? And then the other thing I saw was just that I just saw a little bit ago when I was looking through the news that they're putting Game Pass migrated into every version of Windows 11. So it's you're going to have it built into Windows now. So it's not anything you're going to have to add.
Xbox Live
to it.
In general will be built into Windows like it is, so everything I would assume would come along with it. But that's what I'm saying to you. There'll be a version of Windows 11 that you can click. I don't want that stuff. I want business stuff. I want to have a workstation here, and then it'll tailor to. It'll tailor Windows to perform properly in that sort of a situation. Whereas if you pick, I want to be a gamer, it'll tailor it more towards performing for games, right?
Yeah.
Than being a workstation. Which I
did see also when you mentioned that workstation
it's thing. It's a choice. You have choices you can make. It's kind of like with what Xbox and Microsoft have been kind of doing all along is going in that direction where it's like, hey, you want to do it this way? You want to play it on your phone? Play it on your phone. You want to play it on your Xbox? Play it on your Xbox. Coming soon, hopefully, Xbox One. Like that. They're tailoring for everybody. They're saying, hey, do it however you want. We don't care if you buy our console. Maybe you can't. Maybe you can't afford it. We'd still love you to be a part of our family community.
Yeah, and then it's going to be free again. If you own Windows 10, it's going to be a free upgrade. So
it is. Okay. See, I didn't watch any of this.
And that's the other thing. I think they just want everybody having it, So everybody be on the same page.
Yeah. Well, they did pretty much the same thing with Windows 10, right?
Yeah, and that's
hey, anyone that owns Windows 8 or Windows 7 can upgrade for free to Windows 10.
And it's nice because I remember back in the days when you would help people with their PC and be like, well, what version of Windows do you have? I'm like, oh, I have Windows 7 or I have Windows 8 or I have, and you're like, okay, each one's a little different. And it was nice that everybody pretty much did migrate to 10. So, and it does make that easier. It's like technical support and stuff too. I think that can help.
I was glad, I bought a physical copy of Windows 8 Pro. And that has given me Windows 10 Pro for free. And,
and ever since then,
I'm hoping it'll still give me Pro for Windows 11.
As long as you just keep upgrading, you'll probably get to keep.
Yeah, because it's attached to my account now. So
so I think even if you had a different PC, when you log in your account, you're going to have.
It'll give me that version. Access. But I did have. It was weird because I had to call them at one point because it kept giving me just the regular edition, and they ended up giving me the code to get Pro because I was like, no, I have my Windows, like I have the box right in front of me. I had serial numbers right here, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, okay, yeah, this is supposed to be registered to your account. So why am I not getting the Pro edition? I was supposed to get upgraded to Pro because I had Pro and they gave it to me. So to be honest, I've never had a lot of issues with Microsoft. Like whenever I contact them, I don't do it a lot, but whenever I had to, like Red Ring of Death and stuff like that. It's always been fairly decent experience for the most part. Well, not enough being a Microsoft shill.
So I didn't watch any of this Windows 11 event or reveal, but nice to know I can upgrade for free.
Bits here and there, and it's a free upgrade. That's great. That'll be cool.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be a little bit more. I don't know. I think it was just rumor or something I saw. Like the interface is going to look a little more like Mac.
Yeah,
or
a little bit. Like things are a little more centered and pop out from the bottom. It's I don't know. If you look you'll see the pictures. If you Google it, you'll see it.
Yeah, and then I guess I did see a good one because I've seen a thing too. Just again, when I was looking at the news before the show. There's some kind of special microchip that's in most motherboards that it's going to utilize, and it's supposed to increase our security. And Windows 11 is going to require that your motherboard has this chip. And then so I was kind of like, what is this chip? It's like TIP or TPI chip or something like that. I just kind of glanced at it. I never even heard of it either. Yeah. And it's something that it's basically it's internal hardware based, and it's supposed to help with encryption and security. I guess this is something IT users for like companies and corporations use. Yeah, and we never really use it on the commercial end. But I guess it's going to be required for the new Windows. They say most of us all have it. All your motherboards have it since like 2011. It's just never been utilized except for the IT people. So I guess they're going to start utilizing that in the new Windows to help security of it. So maybe hey, we'll have a better reputation of being more secure.
That'll be good, I guess, if you did buy, some cheap knockoff Chinese computer, then you're probably screwed, because you went the hobo way, right?
No, because all this crap is built in the same place.
But I mean? I was just thinking it's built there, but
it's been a standard since whenever,
2011 or whatever,
as long as you haven't bought your computer from before that, which I don't think it's probably running anymore if you did.
If you haven't upgraded since Windows fucking XP. 95 or something stupid.
95. But so I mean, hopefully doing some good things. Hopefully they add some new features and stuff like that, maybe make some things easier for us, but we'll see.
PC talk. No. Where are we now?
Let's go to the news, guys. Let's talk about some of the latest news we have going on here.
News time.
Breaking news.
All right, Gunny, give us the news.
Here's what we got, guys. For this one's for Jesus Walks-a-Lot here. We've got Halo. Halo Infinite is definitely launching this year. When is that? It's going to be announced soonish. Soonish. We know that for.
So
yeah,
I got an interesting thought about this. Okay, so I was surprised that they were launching Forza Horizon 5 in November. Why are they doing that? That's really weird.
Oh, right, and not regular Forza.
I'm assuming they couldn't have it done by September. So I think Halo will come out in September. Because if you look at the lineup of Game Pass games that are coming out, look at it carefully, and there's 1 month that doesn't have a game coming out. And remember what Phil said. I think it was Phil. He said 1 game every month, 1 big game every month into Game Pass. September is the only month that doesn't have a big game. So I'm thinking they're trying to push Forza Horizon 5 back to September, but it didn't work. So they had to release in November. And I think Halo will be ready by September. And I think it'll come out in September. Because they want to get away from Call of Duty and all that shit that's coming out in November. Come out before, right. get a nice, base going, and then hopefully ride through Call of Duty and not have too many people drop off.
Yeah, because I think
that's their look, right? And you got to remember, multiplayer is free. Not if you have Game Pass, not just if free. You have Gold, just free. It's just free. You can just play.
You think the multiplayer is going to release at a different time? Maybe that'll release earlier?
No, it'll release
at the same time.
I think it comes out at the same time. I think Phil said that. I think Phil said that. Yeah, I think he said it'll come out at the same time.
Yeah, I didn't know they did the Call of Duty route. Like how they did the Warzone for Call of Duty came out after the game.
That's just my prediction. That just makes sense to me looking at the situation. Like, I'm not saying that that's going to happen. I'm just saying that that's what I think.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, it sounds like a logical way of looking at it. I mean, it sounds smart. Like, I never dug into it looking like, what's releasing each month, and what.
Just really like all the listening to podcasts and information I take in, and this is what it leads me to think that.
Yeah, and I did get an email directly after E3 because I am a Halo insider, guys. Not that I play Halo, but I am an insider, so I do get early access to some of the things they were adding to like the Master Chief Collection. But it was stuff like you could talk about. It was just you were just supposed to play it like it was just the fucking games or whatever. Like nothing new there, But yeah, they were just like, get ready for this summer, just stay tuned. You'll be able to kind of play some of this multiplayer stuff early on before it's actually released. Yeah, so that makes sense. I could definitely see that coming out in September. For sure.
Yeah, I mean that's like. That's pretty big.
Yeah.
It's going to be big for them, I think. What else we got, Gunny? Or were you done with that?
Pretty much done with that. I just talked about games like Battlefield launching in October. So, yeah, I can definitely... That makes sense.
Do you think they're going to try to avoid Battlefield?
Yeah, so September makes more sense. That's what I'm saying.
Like, if they come out in September, it makes sense, right? Like, they'll get away from taking sales away from Battlefield as well. Right? And then EA's happy. They don't have to fight Halo in the marketplace. Well, they still do, but I mean, not as much,
Yeah. Seeing how Halo should have came out last year and all, but hey, you got to make sure it's right first.
Hey, man. Games get delayed. It happens.
True. Phil, my buddy, he's on it.
That should have been delayed. There's consoles that come out that should have been delayed.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah,
this generation should not have happened until like this year, to be honest.
Atari VCS is out. Anyway,
is it?
Moving on. I don't know.
That thing actually came out?
I think it launched.
And I can pick one up. Micro Center carries them. I think my Micro Center has them. I can pick one up.
Yeah.
Yes.
$299 was it, right?
Wow.
But should I?
Don't do that. No.
I mean, it's $300. It's like $399, I think. And
you're better off to buy like an Amico or something like that. You probably have
plays
fun
old
with that.
Atari games. I mean,
well, no, it does more than that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, but it comes with like 100 old Atari games, and it shows like the box art and everything. I watched a guy like open it on YouTube and stuff and show him through.
But it also is a gaming PC, but it's Linux based, right?
Yeah.
That's the problem. Like, why?
That's a whole other ball of wax I just opened up there. But moving on. Maybe Jonathan Hall, when he does his unboxing, he can put it on our Facebook group, right, John? But moving on, Borderlands 3 crossplay. It's happening. It's happening now.
Everywhere. It's happening everywhere.
Hold on, Ryan.
Not everywhere.
Not PlayStation. No. They are left out in the fucking cold because, let's see here. Gearbox Randy Pitchford revealed that crossplay was coming to Borderlands 3. To get it on the action, you needed to create a crossplay display name, which will be prompted to do after the update is installed. Just looking here to see where. You may have noticed that the PlayStation is absent from the store of listed supported platforms. We explained the exclusion in May. I vaguely remember this in May, but the crash course version is that Sony demands a piece of the action. You know what that is? Money, honey. That's what they want. From any successful crossplay game that it allows on its platform. Borderlands publisher 2K apparently didn't feel like paying, so that's that. Well, I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't either. No.
Yeah.
Every other company came into this and said, yeah, we're cool with that. It's a good thing for the community. We're cool with that. We don't need a cut. But Sony has to come in and say, we need a cut. Go fuck yourself then, Sony. Mm-hmm. Take your cut and shove it up your ass.
There you go.
Sorry. PlayStation loves their gamers so much.
So I'm curious, so with... It's probably come out, there's been so much information on these court proceedings or whatever, but remember they were so resistant to the whole Fortnite thing, but apparently caved in some way. But that's probably because Epic probably fucking paid them, right?
Maybe.
Right? They had to have.
I think
they bought into Epic. They bought into Epic.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. See? There you go. Yeah.
I think it came out in the lawsuit. I think Epic sent Sony a letter. Like, they had the documentation, like the emails, and they pretty much forced Sony's hand. They said, we were going to sue you unless you... Because it was something to do with, Sony was charging. That's how we all found out about Sony charges to play crossplay. And Epic said, no, this isn't right, kind of thing. And then Epic threatened to sue them in some way or another and said, look, we can do this illegally or we can do it the nice way, and then Sony just kind of bowed out and was like, all right, you win, kind of thing. And that's how it ended up on, cross-play with PlayStation. But nobody else has really had the clout that Fortnite had, to go in there and really strong-arm Sony and be like, look, we're going to do it this way.
Didn't Rocket League do it too?
Yeah, but Rocket League started off on the PlayStation, I think.
Yeah, that was...
Yeah. But eventually you got crossplay in Rocket League.
But it got bought out by...
That was the game that...
And then they got bought out by Epic, which was...
Right
around the same time, so...
Yeah, that's true.
And wasn't it Rocket League where they accidentally turned on the crossplay?
Turned it on?
Yeah.
And then everybody was like,
that was Epic,
look,
by the
it's
way.
so easy because Sony was trying to say it was difficult.
It was difficult to do, yeah.
And it gets accidentally turned on just like that.
The switch was flipped. I thought that was the light to the kitchen. I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, no, you turned on crossplay for everybody. Oops, let me turn that off. Sorry. We didn't get permission first.
But Gunny, it's okay because we have another article that Sony has.
Just getting to that. Oh. Just getting to that where it does say that Sony says they really do like crossplay. Let me explain here, guys.
Do they?
Yes,
they do.
It says.
They're out there encouraging everybody to do crossplay right now. Don't you know this, Gibbs?
I had no idea. I mean, I don't keep up on the Sony news, so as I really don't like them as a company anymore at all. But tell me.
So it just says here Thanks to a recent court filing, Sony's reasons for apprehension have become clearer. Documents released as part of an ongoing Epic versus Apple legal saga bullshit showed that Sony's crossplay compliance came with a special royalty that game publishers have to pay up. Basically, Sony wants to ensure that PlayStation players aren't running off to spend their money on other platforms while still relying on Sony's server infrastructure to actually play the game. Oh, stop it with the second part. Come on.
Wait, stop. Shouldn't the gamer have the choice to decide what platform they want to spend their money on? Why should Sony be able to force you into spending money on their platform?
Yeah, this all runs into that whole Apple versus Epic thing. So Sony gets a cut when you make a V-Bucks purchase of Fortnite,
right?
Through Sony. Mm-hmm. But if you make the V-Buck purchase on your PC and then you log in on crossplay on your PlayStation, you get to redeem them rewards and bypass
as you
Sony's
should.
And so Apple has the same problem.
If you buy something, you should own it across platforms. Like I've always said that. I know it'll probably never happen, but it obviously will never happen. Like where I buy an Xbox game and I will own it on a Sony device. You know what I mean? That'll never happen. That would take too much of a cut into their business, and I completely understand that. But Sony is a greedy ass fucking company.
Correct.
Part of it has to do is they're fighting a giant. Like money wise, Microsoft can fucking stomp Sony into the ground if they wanted to.
Correct.
Like money wise, financially, like they have no end really. They can do whatever the fuck they want. And they're starting to throw their shit around. You know what I mean? Like that's...
Yeah. So it says here...
They're like, enough is enough. And they're like, we have money. So, throw it in the air and see where it lands. Oh, it landed on Bethesda. Okay. That's all right.
Exclusive.
Oh, landed into this Game Pass thing that we've made. Is a pretty fucking... Probably the best deal in gaming. Honestly, if you don't have Game Pass, I guess for the type of gamers we are, Game Pass is perfect. And it has so much variety, I'm sorry, I don't want to go on a Game Pass commercial. That's not what I'm trying to do here. I just feel like...
He's just trying to get some of that Microsoft money. Some royalties.
We love Phil in his nice jacket.
Look, Gunny, the listeners can't tell, but he's over here wearing a Microsoft Xbox t-shirt.
I'm wearing an Xbox One shirt
Xbox One t-shirt. Talking about Game Pass. I would swear we have an Xbox employee on the show.
I'm such a shill. Oh, man. But really, honestly, Game Pass is amazing. Whether it's Ultimate or not. Anyways, what else? Go on. I keep taking us off.
No, that's fine. I was just going to finish it up really quick. Where, in response, so this is from, despite the abnormal royalty policy, blah 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 bullshit. PlayStation CEO Jim Ryan told Axios that he wants PlayStation to support crossplay in more games going forward. He says
not in all games.
Hey, listen, this is what he's saying here. This is what he's saying.
Games that will pay us the money. Oh, we found a few publishers that are willing to pay us that money. Let's get them. Let's hook them in. Pull them towards us.
Look here in quotes. It says, "We support and encourage crossplay." Ryan said. Cited various titles that currently support the feature.
Jim Ryan said. Don't just use his name. Because I don't want people thinking I said this.
Right. Hey, here's a good example. He said Destiny 2, which will soon introduce it. That number will continue to grow, he added. Boy, he's really putting his money where his mouth is, or vice versa. Yeah. But
it'll grow by one more game in the next year.
So this is what I think. Okay, so you've got Jim Ryan, right? And now he is the CEO in America. But he's got bigger people to answer to in Japan. Am I right? Even with the last guy.
Yeah.
Even with the last guy where he's like, look, I just got off the phone with Japan, and we won't be supporting this or that or the other thing. You know what I mean? Like, that's, yeah. Because he doesn't make those calls, right? I mean...
I would assume he has a say, but I don't think he's the be-all and end-all of it. No.
Right? Does that make more sense? It's almost like...
He has shareholders to, like...
But okay, right?
Shit he's got to look for.
I just can't see, like, me as a Sony pony or whatever just running off to go buy an Xbox One to buy fucking costumes or whatever to play Fortnite or better car skins for Rocket League.
The thing is they need to make cross-account. So I feel like DLC, stuff like that, I feel like that should be, like, all based through Fortnite servers, for instance. Let's just use Fortnite as an example. So if I buy something in Fortnite, it doesn't matter where I play it. I can access my content that I've purchased, whether it's on this device or not. Mm-hmm. That I feel is not violation of anything. But who am I? Like, really, it's just. I feel like I should be able to do that, like that's something that I spent the money on. Why can't I use it here? Oh, because I didn't spend money in your marketplace, but I'm still playing. That's the thing. It has to be, the games have to have their own marketplace, I guess, is what I'm saying. Games like Minecraft has its own marketplace. You go in, you can buy mods, you can do this, you know what I mean? Like, it's that way. You're putting money back into the game, which is what you should be doing.
Right.
Like, I feel like, I don't know.
But I get what you're saying.
It's hard for me to explain.
No, I know what you're saying, especially if, okay, let's say you're doing that.
Could there be rather than Microsoft or Sony or whoever?
But I could definitely see if, like, okay, can we just take each game and maybe handle it differently? Like, could Sony do that? There's the better question. Could Sony come in and say, okay, Borderlands 3 is now crossplay. All right, so for costumes and stuff, and they've kind of got their own store thing, but we know they're playing our fan base or whatever. They're playing on our console, but they're playing. They have crossplay enabled or whatever. I don't fucking know, but still, maybe not get 30%, but. Could it be 15 or what? You know what I mean? Like, could they just kind of change the whole way microtransactions are done?
Structure works.
I don't know. Maybe that's too hard or they're just too greedy. Who knows?
I just don't think it should matter what platform you play it on. If you're playing the game, you should have whatever you've purchased, whether it's from a different console or not. I don't feel like that's a hard thing. But
I think
we're tied up in the fact that they want their money.
Yeah.
And maybe it has to do with Xbox doesn't really have to worry about money right now. They don't. Like, they make people. People always say, "Oh, $7.5 billion for Bethesda." Oh, they spent so much money. Yeah, but. In that same quarter leading up to that purchase, before the purchase was made, they made $15 billion in a quarter.
Yeah.
So that $7.5 billion was them just spending their money because they weren't making enough money having it in the bank anyways. You know what I mean? Like, interest rates were low. It was better off for them to spend money than to keep it, So why not invest in your company? And that whole side of it is why I always said all along that Bethesda stuff is going to be exclusive, whether it's Fallout, Elder Scrolls, Starfield, whatever. Bethesda stuff moving forward will be exclusive.
Okay, this is where we may differ or disagree on things, right? All right, so
I think Fallout 76 and things that will continue to get updated and whatever. That stuff will all still be on multi-platform, cross-platform, whatever.
Right.
But moving forward, the new single-player experiences, stuff like that don't need to be through a whole wide, that'll all be exclusive to Xbox.
Yeah.
And if you want to play, you can play it on your PC on Game Pass if you don't want an Xbox. You know?
Yeah. And so
if you're playing on your Xbox One, your original Xbox One. Hey, maybe xCloud helps you out, and you can play those Series X games on your original Xbox. Not original Xbox. Sorry, I mean original Xbox One.
That old fucking VCR of a console. Holy shit! Dust that thing out, it still runs.
Or an S or whatever, right? Like, that's where things seem to be moving.
Okay, I agree with that. Like, especially like well, maybe and maybe not. I don't know about existing IPs or whatever, like a Wolfenstein or whatever. Because I could see like Wolfenstein and maybe Doom, but I doubt even Doom. I think they would keep Doom close to chest too. I see. Okay, yeah, there are some things where I think like Doom. I think Doom will be like. Let me back up a minute here, Ryan. Okay, so Starfield, brand new IP, not on any platform right now because it's just not out.
I said that all along that would be exclusive. I've always said that.
Yeah, I think a lot of us thought that would be.
I don't look at it like that. I don't look at it like this game is going to be exclusive. I think personally, I should. I know I should, but I don't. I just don't. I really don't know.
Because it is.
But it is. I know what they said.
Stop dreaming. Stop dreaming. Stop dreaming, Gunny. Stop. The dream is dead.
I'm fucking grounded in reality over here, man.
Leave it alone. You're going to get PC and Xbox only. No, ever, never, ever on a PlayStation unless by some miracle Sony says, hey, we'll take Game Pass on PlayStation.
Then I would agree. Then I would be like, at that hint of it, yes.
They would be able to play Starfield. They would be able to play Gears of War. They would be able to play Halo on a PlayStation. But that'll never happen.
Okay, listen. Here's what I just don't like this word exclusive thrown around, right? You know how many fucking over the years, whatever happened to...
Listen to me. You don't like the word exclusive. Who throws the word exclusive around the most out of every gaming company?
PlayStation.
PlayStation, and their PlayStation fans love to talk about how exclusive their games are. How come nobody gave a shit when Sony went out and bought Insomniac, who made an Xbox game?
That got me to go buy a PlayStation 4 Pro.
Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah.
Okay, so nobody cared when they bought Insomniac, and Insomniac couldn't continue to work with Microsoft anymore. Nobody cared. Oh, Sony's got more exclusives. But when Bethesda gets bought, all of a sudden, or ZeniMax gets bought, then all of a sudden, we got to complain about it. We need all these games. Well, how come Insomniac doesn't still make games for Xbox? How come Ratchet and Clank didn't come out on Xbox? Well, because they're a first-party company from Sony. But they used to make games for Microsoft as well.
Yeah.
What's the difference? Tell me what the difference is. There's no difference.
Let me get on my soapbox here for a minute, Ryan.
Whether you're a Sony fan or an Xbox fan, that's the difference.
Do I think that Starfield... I'm sorry, Gunny.
Jesus isn't here, and I'm unloading on you.
Hey, fucking just rip my asshole apart. I don't give a fuck. No, I deserve it as a fellow Xbot here. But no, but I think exclusive. I remember when there was a time where we always talked about timed exclusives, right? And there was a time. And I still feel like that's just not being used enough, right? Because even nobody on Twitter is talking about it because people are just so, I don't know, in a hurry and busy and snappy and, exclusive. No, I don't think so. I don't even think Starfield is going to be exclusive. Here's what I think.
Oh, God, here we go again.
Here's my prediction. Do I think that Starfield or even like the next Doom or Wolfenstein is going to be on, let's say, a PlayStation 5 2 years from now, or even at launch? I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be on PS4 or the PlayStation 5. But I do think they will be. They will be on Steam, okay? Steam is not owned by Microsoft, has no affiliation with Microsoft, right? It's a totally separate other company. Therefore, you cannot call this an exclusive. Maybe a console exclusive, yes.
Where are you going, Gunny?
I'm telling you that it's not exclusive. It's just not on PlayStation.
Are you telling me that that consoles are going to die and Steam is going to take over video games?
No.
Is that what you're saying?
I think that people
That's
on...
what I want to hear.
This is what I want people to do on Twitter, whether they be Xbox or not. Not that it's going to happen. Maybe the Microsoft team or anybody talking about Starfield. I think they need to start saying one or the other thing. Saying it's a console exclusive or it's a timed exclusive, right? You can't just say exclusive and be like, that's that, because it's not. Right?
Well, no. I mean, Starfield's coming out on PC as well, and I would assume it would come out on Steam.
Yeah, but
is it already up for pre-order on Steam?
No. So the way it works is, right, that's all hidden stuff, right? Because this is a new deal. If you look back at, what is it, Sea of Thieves? Well, I mean, not that Rare, they've been owned by them, but that was not... I think they couldn't announce when it was coming to Steam. We knew it was coming to Steam, right? But nobody knew the exact date. So it was just like, bam, here it comes. I think it was 2 months, 60 days exclusive to Xbox.
That's another game that's super underrated by people that Microsoft owns.
Did you know that Sea of Thieves is one of the most sought after games on the PlayStation 4?
Yeah.
It's not on there, but it's so sought after because people want to know, why the fuck could I not get Sea of Thieves on a PlayStation? You know?
E3 that I saw, speaking of Sea of Thieves, it kind of confused me and we talked about this a while back, Gunny, like 2 weeks ago when we were last live. So you have this Guardians of the Galaxy game coming out from Square Enix, right? I think it was Square Enix?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So... they can't bring any of the licensed movie people into this game because whatever, you know, the Star-Lord is a completely different character. They went a completely different route, just like they did in this Avengers game, right? And I don't know if that's because of money and licensing or what.
Probably.
But then they can turn around and who owns the Marvel license? Disney, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But yet they can turn around and land Johnny Depp as
good point.
What's his name in Jack Sparrow in Sea of Thieves.
Good point.
It's like they can throw that money and get Johnny Depp of all people to get voice acted in Sea of Thieves, but yet you got Square Enix is going to make a game Guardians of the Galaxy and not use their lookalikes, and it's just
Mayo. Think about it though. Again, this goes back to what I was talking about how like little fish and big fish. Microsoft is a big fish. And Microsoft has the money to throw around, where Square Enix doesn't necessarily have the money to throw around. Maybe they want to put more money into the game than pay for licensing that they don't need to pay for.
I think,
you know what I mean? Like, that's where I think it runs into. I don't think the likenesses at all bother me. It sucks that they don't look like what you think they would look like, but the characters are pretty decently the same. You know what I mean?
And that doesn't bother me, but I feel like it hurts like the Avengers game. I think it hurts the Avengers game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's an iconic thing, right? So that's a lot more iconic, I think.
Let's look at it. It's the youth that like those games like that more so, you know, and I feel like it's more of a youth-friendly game. The youth wanted to look like the TV stars that they watch on TV. So it almost feels generic. Like you look at the Avengers game and you're going, what is this generic? This is like GoBots versus Transformers kind of thing back in our era. You know, we did not want GoBots because Transformers were the cartoon.
Fuck and they were so much I like cooler, GoBots. Right? GoBots were cool.
They were cool, but everybody wanted Transformers because that's what we saw, and that became the name.
And you know what I always got? Fucking GoBots.
Oh, yes. There's actually the toy store here in Columbus I go to every once in a while just to look, and they have like all the GoBots there you can buy, and like a bunch of the Transformers and stuff. It's just neat to see them again, you know, like, oh, those are so cool.
Micro Machines. Okay, separate thing.
I love Micro Machines.
Yeah.
One of my friends actually.
Uh-oh, he froze up. We're still here, though. While Mayo is still...
I'm back.
Okay, there you are.
We're losing each other.
You were saying... We were on there. What were you saying about your friend?
Oh, my friend from work, he has all of his old Micro Machines. He's got a couple hundred of them laying around.
Oh, nice.
His parents kept them, so he was showing them to me the other day, actually.
No, yeah, those are cool, man.
I had a buddy that used to collect stuff like that, and I wonder if he still has all that shit. It's crazy.
But yeah, none of my stuff was kept from my childhood, so my mom sold it all while I was at school. Like she would have garage sales and sell them for like a nickel a piece. She's like, here, all these He-Man figures, nickel a piece, and I had pretty much all of them. I complained to her, and she'd be like, I bought them when you were a kid. I'm selling them. Like, really? Really? But
oh well.
Yeah.
Hey guys, next article here.
Oh God, we're still in the news.
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft
has removed
Ubisoft. Okay, do you guys know what Ubisoft stands for? So you say?
No.
Do you know what it's shortened from? No? Ubiquitous Software.
What is it again? Say it again.
Ubiquitous Software.
What is that, like French? Might be.
Ubiquitous is a word.
It's a Canadian thing, right?
No, I don't think so. But anyways, yeah, that's why it's Ubisoft. But the French pronounce it Ubisoft.
Oh, oui. Hey.
Oh, oui.
They have removed
Ubisoft.
I'm gonna start talking Australian here in a minute. Going from because I can't.
Australian Frenchman.
Ubisoft has removed the GoldenEye 007 Far Cry 5 fan maps per notice from MGM. I know MGM is fucking huge as a company.
Yeah.
Well,
they're owned by HBO now, right?
Yeah, they got bigger. I know. The wife was looking at these like hotels in Las Vegas. Like she's like, fucking MGM owns all of them. It seems. It's like, yeah, they're fucking huge. Last month, a dedicated Far Cry and GoldenEye 007 fan released a full 18 map recreation of the original GoldenEye 64 levels that were playable directly from Far Cry 5. It was a passion project that was one of their free for everyone to join, and while that all seemed well with Ubisoft, it would appear that the studio behind the James Bond franchise didn't take it too kindly and has issued a full takedown of all the maps. What the hell? Why is...
So Ubisoft was all kind of like, oh, this is good, this is neat, And next thing you know, MGM, who, we think of nothing to do with video gaming, but it's got that GoldenEye.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if it's on... Yeah, I mean, as a big company and it's on their servers, I can definitely see, definitely some licensing bullshit on it. But speaking of licenses, because the first thing when I saw this, and I know it's not like a related thing with Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell, but it just made me think of nobody's ever talked about that. Like, what do you think about their license? With maybe the Tom Clancy name to it. Do you think are they holding this thing or what? Is it still Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege? Is it? I mean, is that just the only thing they're holding on to, or that they're paying for? We know that
when I hear Rainbow Six, I don't think of Tom Clancy anymore. Like, I just think of Rainbow Six.
But it kind of sucks they couldn't work out a deal even here, with these user created maps. Like, hey, it's just fucking, it's COVID. People are having fun. Let them have their fun. But no.
Yeah, somebody put a lot of work into making these 18 maps, and then next thing MGM is just like, no, we don't want that, Even Ubisoft thought it was great, So it must have been really nicely done if Ubisoft was liking it and didn't have a problem with it, and MGM had enough of a problem with it to take it down.
It all comes down to money.
Yep.
Hey, did you guys see that? I don't know. I don't think it's a real thing, but it was Fallout 76 London or Fallout London. Is that a real thing or a user mod thing for Fallout 4? I don't know. Some people are listening. They probably know what I'm talking about. It's on YouTube. I thought it was fucking for real. It's called Fallout London or something. But yeah, and I'm just thinking wait a minute. If this is something that's maybe licensed or, from a popular modder or something, it just always automatically concerns me, that there's going to be something in there that a big company's not going to like. Like, oh, it's too popular and too famous, and you're using our name and our likeness and our city, but again, it all comes down to money. So, yeah. that sucks. But yeah, I'll find out more on that Fallout London thing, because I've seen that trailer twice, and I'm like, what the hell? It looks awesome. I'm not sure what it's for. Fallout 4 or Fallout 76? But moving on to the next article, guys. Microsoft, their special Cyberpunk 2077 refund policy ends early in July. So, Ryan, what do you think? I play it periodically. Should we return it? Should we not? Is that something you jump into? Or not?
I was waiting for the patch to jump into it, but I don't know, man. It's up to you. You bought it.
Yeah. When do I think that's ever going to happen? Fuck, I don't know. I think probably September at the earliest, I would think. I haven't been following to see when they're going to do like an upgrade for the Series S and X. I know they said it was June like a year ago.
Yeah, but then it got delayed till the end of the year or something. Yeah,
it's weird. But other than that, I know the game. I've heard other people say, yeah, the game looks a little off, but it's still like a decent, solid game. That's true. It still runs fine on my Series S.
Yeah, I hear it keeps running better and better. I did see an article too saying they just put it back on the Sony store. So, it does that little mark saying, may not play on a regular PS4. You might want to play it on a Pro or a PS5. But it is back now on the Sony store. And I did see another article too. I just not put in the news because it's Cyberpunk and people are probably tired of hearing about it. But like the head over there, they said that they're kind of happy with the way it's running right now, and so it's making progress, and maybe it's better. I haven't launched it in my PC in a while since they started doing updates. I'm actually kind of curious to go back maybe and see how it plays. The Witcher was the same way. We remember The Witcher when it first came out. It was a buggy mess for a while, and the game did not play well. And then look at what it became today. It became a great game. So the nice thing is they continue to put effort into it. They didn't just be like, okay, this is a bad game. We're done. Let's move on to something else. At least they continue to support this game and give them props for that. At least, whatever they come out next or if they continue to work on this game, I still have a lot of respect for CD Projekt Red because the way they handle their business. I mean, we may have not liked their product at the end, or it may have been overhyped, but they stick with their work, it seems like, and they try to improve it or make it what we want, or like good quality at least. So we'll see. I mean, hopefully it's better now.
Yeah, so you're right, Ryan. That patch is dated for or scheduled for the end of the year for the upgrades for the PS5 and the Xbox Series S and X. I did watch a Digital Foundry video. Like, they come out every patch for all systems. It's like I usually watch about 5 or 10 minutes of those videos, and then I just get bored. I'm like, whatever. But they'll show like comparisons to like whatever the latest patch is, and it'll show the Xbox OG One, the Series, are the Xbox One S, the Xbox Series, like just the whole family of fucking consoles, right? The PlayStation 4 OG, and they're just doing all these comparisons with frame rates, and it's like, all right, fine, I'll just go play the fucking game because, it seems to run fine, whatever it is that. I don't know if it's running in 30 or 60 on the Series S, but because I don't even take my One X, I don't really ever turn that on, Ryan. I will. I think I currently have that hooked up to this 144 hertz monitor, which it doesn't support. What is it, like a variable refresh rate, because it's a G-Sync monitor, but I will just play like pinball on it, because playing pinball on the TV, doesn't work out well for my eyeballs. But yeah, it's been a couple of months since I've updated the One X.
Yeah, it's hard to go back. It's really hard.
Remember, we've talked about it on the show where we were like, hey, look, Microsoft was trying to work their magic to get just the interface, right? Just the UI to kind of work on, to kind of like keep everything in sync with an OG Xbox One. It was, and the Series, or the One S, and and One X, and what a fucking mess. But now, no, the My Series S runs great. It runs great. Store runs great. It updates quickly. I've noticed the store keeps most games that are... It doesn't update everything, like everything in your fucking library, but, you know, if you have it on an old hard drive, it will, you know, you go to click on it, but it'll prompt it. So, other than that, I'm happy with it. Next article we have here is the Booker T, wrestler guy. He loses a lawsuit against Activision and as a Call of Duty character. Pro wrestler Booker T has lost a lawsuit over the Black Ops 4 character Prophet. Booker T has argued that the in-game ad looks very similar to G.I. Bro, a character from his early wrestling days. However, a jury disagreed. Apparently he filed this lawsuit back in 2019 when him and his lawyers sued Activision. His claim was that the Prophet was directly based on his G.I. Bro character. To prove the claim, Huffman provided a poster of his character compared directly to Prophet from Black Ops 4. When seen side by side, there could be no question that this character was copied from G.I. Bro, explained Huffman's lawyers. From the hair, body type, and clothing, right down to the facial expressions, the similarities are too profound to be accident. Activision's lawyers pushed back and pointed out, in a motion filed in court, that the image Huffman and his legal team were used as evidence wasn't original, but just a copy of The Rock, the neck down in order. In court, Huffman argued that the Prophet's character was still copying his facial expressions and his own attitude. However, Activision pointed out in their motion that you can't copyright an attitude. Plaintiffs does not own the idea of an angry man with a scowling look, said the publisher's legal team.
It's true.
I remember this came out in like Fortnite, like a similar thing, you know, talking about attitude. The jury,
it's hard.
Jury agreed with Activision and decided against Huffman. When asked if Activision, the developer of Black Ops 4, infringed on Huffman's G.I. Bro character, the answer was simple: no.
That's kind of funny. The thing I took from that too is like right away, it's like they took the Rock's body and put his head on it. Like, this guy's already a wrestler; he's already a big guy, but yet they had to use the Rock's body and put his head on it.
It's clear that it is,
Your old wrestler name was G.I. Bro, a complete ripoff of G.I. Joe.
Joe, right?
You just do the exact same thing. Just saying.
Yes, those pictures do look a lot alike, but it's just kind of funny how the court was like, well, this picture doesn't work because it's like the Rock's body in your face. So then he changed his tune. You know, he's like, oh, well, they're taking my face expressions, you know, like, you know, okay, yeah, you don't look at the whole picture. Well, look at the face. It looks the same. And, well, I want to sue because the face looks like my face. Well, then, you know,
I think
that's when they came out with a court saying, okay, yeah, but you can't trademark up or, you know, a scowl, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and so that was just kind of funny that the courts thought that was, you know.
If you would have got Dwayne Johnson on board with this, right, I think they would have had a better chance of winning. The Rock, I'm sorry, Dwayne Johnson. Yeah, if they would have, I think they would have settled out of court or something for a good chunk of change versus him losing altogether. Because now he's got to pay the other lawyer's side, you know, for losing.
Yeah, but I do get it. They do look a lot alike, and I don't know. I mean, yeah, somewhat. I mean, but, you know, just as much as he could complain is whoever made that poster, whoever his company he was working with could complain, be like, look, you took our character. You know, maybe not so much, you know, Booker T, but that poster almost is an exact picture of, you know, kind of like what we see with Capcom right now. Like how Capcom was basically getting sued over having the likeliness of these other photos. Like, these two pictures look a lot alike, and, you know, so maybe they did use that picture or something to get a general idea, or it's just pure coincidence, which, I don't know. They do look pretty close, so I don't know how coincidental it is, but...
Yeah.
I mean, they pretty much do have the same kind of hat on, the same kind of haircut, you know, everything.
Yeah, it looks similar, for sure, but... I mean, really, it's... I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure there were things that, what do they call those things? Like if you're not in the courtroom, arbitration, right? I'm sure they did some sort of arbitration thing where they were like, Booker, Hupp and Steam were like, give me fucking $30 million right now. Give it to me.
Do you think this is something that's just coming more light, or do you think it's something that game studios have done for a long time to get ideas, or people that's working in these studios to go online and get pictures of things? We're seeing a lot of this stuff with Capcom. A lot of stuff coming out through Capcom.
Yeah.
Where they had one employee, crunch time or this or that or something's due, and he didn't have the thing, and next thing you know, you find a random picture on the web and just be like, oh, I'm going to use this. Now, I wonder how much that's done, like behind the scenes kind of stuff.
And there's a lot of things too where there's a website, Mayo, where it shows like video game studios and support studios. And so with those, like you were talking about so let's just say it's a support studio and it's, it's a town, it's in my town or whatever, but nobody's ever heard of it, It might be in the credits in Call of Duty, you're right, from Activision or something, but, but it just says there was a support team. But they could have, like you said, made some of those, those character models and art pieces and, just different shit like that where I'm sure that, Joe Schmo or whatever that works for that, alt-let media, right, that supports fucking Activision probably just said, fuck it, let me just go to the web right now. Nobody will know, right? And just copy and paste.
Nobody's going to see it.
Nobody will see it. Nobody will Google this or whatever. I'm sure a lot of that has been done that's not from somebody popular, right? It could just be from an old website that was...
Yeah. But the thing is, it was up to Booker T's lawyers to prove that that's what happened, and obviously they couldn't do that.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
whatever.
Yep, he needs a better lawyer. Or he should have taken whatever that money that was offered to him, assuming that Activision even made them an offer. That's probably something in there where they're not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
So I think that's all we have for the news, guys. Let's move on over to this console corner, our favorite console
Gunny's
stuff.
Console corner.
I love it. PlayStation Plus for the end of the month of June. As far as I know, it's still Virtual Fighter 5 for your PlayStation Plus. I haven't turned I got to dust off my PlayStation here and check it, make sure I have those. I'm pretty sure I have those games installed and downloaded. Star Wars Squadrons is your second PlayStation Plus game for the end of June. And just for our PlayStation 5 owners, Operation Tango. There you go. Moving over to Xbox. Did not check this, but I think it's still... No, I think it changed, Ryan. Because I have here...
Maybe it did. I have no idea. Man. I don't pay attention to it at all.
Let's see. Games for gold, right? Because I have something different. June. I don't think I updated my shit over here, man.
Oh, Gunny, what are you doing?
No, because I've got Shadows Awakening and Injustice Gods Among Us. But I don't think that's right. No, it is. Shadows Awakening and Injustice Gods Among Us.
The old one.
Check those out, guys.
What's coming into Game Pass?
Oh, so over here on Game Pass PC, Iron Harvest. I started to play it yesterday, but I'm still in like the early tutorial on it. So yeah. I'm going to play that more this week. Oh, is this something you recommend? Because I don't think I've ever played this. This is the game I downloaded on my Xbox Series S. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. I think it's the...
Man, I hope it's good. I want to try it because I loved it back in the day, but I don't know if it holds up.
Okay,
I'll have to see. I'm glad it's coming to Game Pass. That's cool.
Okay, let me start off with that. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered. So this will be on both your PC and your Xbox. Feel the thrill of the chase and the rush of escape in Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered. Unleash the savage sense of speed on both you, or both as an outlaw and a cop in the world's hottest high-performance cars. Yes, I'm excited. I can't wait to try this out.
All right, Gunny.
I've always heard good things about it.
You never played that game?
No, Are you sure? I might have played
back in the day. I mean,
I might have played it on 360 where I rented it from.
Yeah, it would have been on 360.
Yeah, I think I had to rent the game. I didn't have a lot of money at the time, so
it was the one where you had to. It was the one where you had to run away from the cops.
Yeah. So
it was the first one they started. Yeah.
Fuck, I'm trying to think if. No, you know where I'm trying to think of where I rented it from was probably from my local video store.
Maybe.
Because I couldn't afford to buy the game at the time. But yeah, those are just a couple of the games on Game Pass that you can play, where there are hundreds. Do what now?
I think we lost Mayo.
Is he out there? Mayo, come back.
No, Mayo, where did you go?
Over on Mayo's Evil Epic Store, there are a couple free games that you can claim and play. One of them is a pretty awesome game called Sonic Mania, which
that game was a lot of fun. If you like Sonic, then you should play Sonic Mania.
Well, how would you describe it? Like, is it not a remake, or is it just more of a
Sonic? It's like a remix. It's like they took the levels and remixed them and made them prettier, and yeah, I don't know. It's fun. Check it out if you haven't. It's free on the Epic Store. If you like Sonic, you will probably like it.
Yeah, it's a good game. I got caught in the water, Ryan. I kept getting fucking stuck in the water. I didn't know how to get out. I didn't know which direction to go, and I just got so frustrated with that game. But it is a good looking game. It definitely checks all the boxes if you've got a newer console or PC.
Yep.
It just came out last year. Horizon Chase Turbo.
Oh.
I got this on a free PlayStation Plus or last year, and it's
like Outrun or some shit.
Yeah, like Outrun. I think it's like one of those things like as each track, like it's more linear where it just gets harder and harder, and I think you have to just beat each track to progress. Pretty sure that's how it works. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Horizon Chase Turbo. I know I claimed them, so.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's on Xbox because it was on PlayStation. Yeah, it's probably on there.
All right.
Yeah.
Are we moving along?
I think that's pretty much it. Steam. Go over to Steam. There's some big sales over there.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got here, because that's we're pretty much at the end of the show here.
You got some questions, don't we?
Oh, yes, we do. I'm sorry if I missed those. I'm a little distracted here because I'm trying to find the mail. Where is he? Darren Hilton, he has a question for us. He wants to know if video game gods came down and said you can only stick with one gaming platform forever. What would you pick? Xbox, PlayStation, PC, mobile, Nintendo. Darren said he's Xbox for life over there.
Well, I think you know the answer. For me, I would be Xbox.
Yeah.
Wearing that shirt.
Yeah, so I guess if it's like, okay, this is maybe, okay, I only get one, right? I only get one, because I'm thinking like...
Gunny, you got to stay on Xbox so we can keep game sharing.
Oh shit, yes. Because I was thinking like, okay, well, what if we didn't game share? Would it be PC for me? I think I'd still have to go back to the Xbox because that's where our library is, right? I have a big library. You got a big library. Boom. I'm in that ecosystem. I'm good to go. So I would at least upgrade my shit to an Xbox Series X.
Yeah.
Not go low tier.
That. You should have done it.
Did I tell you like that I tried to like it was one of those things where it was not the day of launch, but it was several days after launch, right? And I think it was just more of like, whatever. I don't even know what it was. It was like, okay, whichever one comes first, you know. I'm gonna just, you know, pre-order it or whatever. Not pre-order, but it was like, okay, if the S comes up first and I can get it from Target, fine, or fucking Walmart, I didn't give a shit, you know? But I was like, but if I can get an X, no, it was just, darn, I regret not getting the X. Damn it! Moving on, man. Brian Tulp-Dillner. BT, he wants to know what our favorite couch co-op game is.
Couch co-op. You know what? I haven't played couch co-op game in forever.
I say a good one that me and Kyle always play, and that's not always, but Heavy Weapon.
Heavy Weapon's fun, yeah. I mean, you want to go back like that, like Castle Crashers.
Yeah, that's another one he enjoys. Or I don't enjoy it, but he enjoys it. So I'll be like, okay, I'll play with you. It's cool.
It's a fun game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank.
There's that one game that you said you like. I never played it, but it's that Lovers in a Dangerous Time Space. Did I say that right?
Oh, yeah.
You mentioned but I remember it was like just a random free game or some shit.
Yeah, if you have enough people, you know, it'd be fun. You got to work together and get through. One guy flies, one guy uses the weapons.
Yeah.
It's a pretty neat game. Diablo. Can you play that couch co-op?
I don't know.
That couch co-op. Can you? I think you can.
Would it be split screen or something at that point, or?
No, I don't think you can go off screen. You would have to move together, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I remember what.
Not. I can't remember, but.
Do you remember what the later in the Xbox 360 generation where what was it Lego? Remember what they did with Star Wars?
Yeah,
that was funky. It was funky as hell.
Where the screen just splits when you go in different directions.
It splits and then it goes sideways, and it's the oddest thing. I think me and Kyle tried that back in the day, and I was like, "Nah, I'll just watch you, or you can just watch me play," you know. And he always had his own account, but yeah, it was like the oddest thing. I just said, you know, we could only afford one copy, right? Like, yeah, I wasn't gonna buy 2 copies of it. Unlike if it was like he got into Call of Duty for just a minute, not so much in the competitive space, but yeah, not that was co-op. I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but yeah. Oh shit.
So I guess Mayo won't be back.
Mayo's not back. Oh, one other thing I tried, Ryan, was I finally put like the Steam app on my Sony Google television. And what is it called? The big picture mode? Or it's just called Steam Link or some shit?
Oh, yeah, Steam Link, yeah.
Yeah, I just finally decided yesterday, I'm like, I'll just see if I can just install it and see how good it works. The only thing everything was fine, and then it says like, hey, you don't have a controller linked up. But don't worry about that part because it will work. It just, I don't know why it's saying it on the television when you do have it. You know, it's displayed on your PC monitor that you have a Bluetooth controller plugged in. And so I think the only games that I had checkmarked was the ones that were optimized for the Steam Link. And so I didn't have very many games. I hardly have any games that are installed on my PC, just due to disk space. But I think the only ones I played were Dead Cells. That was the only one. Yeah, it worked pretty good. It looked great. It ran. Yeah, there was no like latency or anything like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, but there are a few other games that I do want to try that I don't currently have installed. So, yeah, I just have like some older ones. But I know like I'm not going to play like City Skylines or 7 Days to Die or whatever. Like I already have that stuff on Xbox. So something that's just in my Steam library, not on Xbox, that I can check out and play with a Xbox One controller. So that's all I got, man. Where do we find you, Ryan? Where do they locate you?
Find me on Xbox Live, Steam, PlayStation, but I'm never on there anymore. As Gib8777.
Yeah,
what about you, Gunny?
Go find the Mayo first. Go find him as...
Yeah.
Let's see. What is he on Steam? He is... Where is he?
Either the Mayo or the Mayo 01.
Let's see. He is... I don't see him on here. He's showing offline. So, yeah, he's something like that on Steam. And Epic Store, Discord, all that good stuff. Yeah, the Mayo on Discord.
Mayo.
Go find me, guys, on Xbox as gamertag Gunny Chief. That's all one word. And on Steam, I think it's the Gunny Chief. Or just Gunny Chief on Steam. Just search for it. Fine, add me. Over there on Uplay. And Epic and all, just everywhere. Except for PlayStation. I'm like HGP_Gunny over on PlayStation. But thank you guys for listening to this episode. Jesus walks a lot. Jesus walks a lot everywhere.
Yeah, we can't forget about him.
Oh, yeah, I almost forgot. Yeah, that guy. He's over there giving me a hard time. That motherfucker. All right. I think he died in a fucking heat wave or something. He was telling me he melted on the sidewalk.
Oh, no. Jesus, get in some shade.
All right, guys.
What does Gidget say?
I forgot. What did she say?
Peace out, Brussels sprout. Catch you on the next episode of the Horrible Gamers podcast. Later.
Brush your controllers and go to bed.